Today I'm in Muiden, an impressive historic city on its own, but I'm not going to visit this beautiful place today. I'm going to cross the water here to an island. And that island is not just an island, but it's one of the most impressive constructions of a defensive waterline surrounding Amsterdam, called the Stelling van Amsterdam. So let's get on board and let me show you the beautiful island of Pampus. The ferries will sail from Tuesday to Sunday from Muiden. A ferry from Amsterdam will sail from April to October during the weekends and school holidays. Ticket prices start from €17 if you take the ferry from Muiden and book online. The ferry from Amsterdam-Eiburg is slightly more expensive at €21.50, but you can get a good discount if you get an iAmsterdam card. The ferry tickets include entrance to the fortress, and I will put a link with detailed information down below. We're just passing the Muiden slot, which is really impressive. It's one of the most beautiful Dutch castles to check out near Amsterdam. Arriving at Pampus, it's a really tiny island actually. Much tinier than I thought it would be. But I'm really excited to check it out. Beautiful might not be the right word to describe this island. But interesting and mysterious it definitely is, and it was recently registered on the UNESCO World Heritage list. Pampus connects two waterlines together, the Stelling van Amsterdam and the New Dutch Waterline. Let me explain to you what a waterline is. The New Dutch Waterline was a defensive line to protect the western parts of the Netherlands from invaders. What's really interesting about these defensive works is that they could flood the land in front of the fortresses to prevent the enemy to pass easily. With the barrier of the water that was created, the richest parts of the Netherlands, including the cities of Amsterdam, Rotterdam, The Hague and Utrecht, could be protected. In total, they built here 45 fortresses, 6 fortifications and hundreds of bunkers. That makes the New Dutch Waterline the biggest national monument here in the Netherlands. So let's start to explore the icing on the cake of these defensive works. The fortress of Pampus looked very small when I arrived by boat, but most of it lays underneath here. You can see the two domes. Those domes were the places where the big guns were positioned. So let's go down here and discover what's down inside the fortress. Inside the fortress you find 80 spaces. Up to 200 soldiers could be garrisoned here. Most of these spaces were used as dorms, canteens and places for the soldiers to hang out. But of course were also places for the munition and the guns and the weapons. Mind your head. The former guard room is now used by the birds. Luckily, this fortress never had to be used. Only during the First World War, about 200 soldiers would live here permanently. A former dorm just turned into a canteen. Anyone up for a drink? Let's get one. It must have been very boring to stay here for a long time, but I find it really impressive to visit. I love to wander through the old corridors of the fortress, even though the room that I just entered is a shitty place. There are a lot of rooms to explore, and you would be accompanied by many birds that would call this place home. Their chirping sounds add to the atmosphere. Some of the rooms that you can explore are former quarters of the officers. Unfortunately, there's no furniture left, but I have no doubt that they lived a more luxury life than the soldiers themselves. They even created a little hospital here inside the fortress. Anyways, let's get back outside. The complex has an oval shape, and what's really cool is that you can walk all around it. Walking around the fortress, you see a lot of pictures of other fortresses that would protect Amsterdam in case of war. Okay, let's get back up and enjoy the views from above a little bit. Look at the views. You can see Almere in the distance. You can see Amsterdam just over there. And that's just crazy. The guns that never came. Unlike the guns, I hope that you guys will visit this island in the future. I gotta catch the last boat, unfortunately, to the mainland, so I have to leave this place. I had a wonderful day on Pampus. I hope you liked my video, and if you liked it, give it a thumbs up and see you in the next one. Bye bye.